Today I want to talk about why you need to be looking at Google Analytics data every month. To run a successful business and consistently grow it, you need to be looking at the right mix of leading indicators for your business. If you think about it, your sales numbers are not leading indicators. They're lagging indicators. They tell you what happened in the past. And one of the places where you can go to see leading indicators for your business is Google Analytics. For instance, looking at your website visits and drilling down to new visitors, time on site, engagement levels, you can get an idea for how your future customers are interacting with your business today on your website. For instance, if your visitor flow is increasing, that is a good indication that you are getting more attention, and hence if you do things well, you should have more business in the future. If the time on your site, for instance, is increasing, then it could be a sign that you're attracting the right people and that your future customers are actually actively evaluating your product and service. Hence, that's why they're spending so much time on your website. So there are many reasons why you need to be going through your Google Analytics data on a regular basis. And if you're not doing that already, let me give you some insights into why you might want to start doing that today. Welcome to the latest episode of Corner Your Market. I'm your host, Sailes Kamide. In this podcast, I talk about all things digital marketing, from website design and development to SEO and PPC, as well as paid advertising, email marketing, social media, and anything in between. If it's related to digital marketing, I'll talk about it. If you're a small business owner, a marketing manager in a company, or an entrepreneur, this podcast is for you. So tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. You'll gain some practical insights, new strategies, tactics, and tools that will help you grow your business. To subscribe, go to corneryourmarketpodcast.com and select the podcast app of your choice. Then you can hit subscribe within those apps. That again is corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Also, don't forget to like and share our individual episodes. You can also leave a review in the app you use to listen. Thank you for joining me today. In this episode, I want to discuss why you need to be regularly logging into your Google Analytics account and reviewing the data that is in there. I know that a lot of business owners or marketing managers and entrepreneurs that have websites don't always log into their Google Analytics account on a regular basis and check what's going on in there. When I have conversations with these people, a lot of times I ask them, how's your website doing? And many times they'll give me anecdotal information, or they'll give me some hearsay information about their website, but nothing really concrete that says that they've really looked into their data and really have an understanding of what's happening with their website. I mean, the same people use some financial software for their business, and they're checking their financials on a regular basis. They're checking in with their staff on a regular basis and things like that, at least a monthly basis, to get a pulse on their business. So I find it odd that they wouldn't do the same thing for their website, because at the end of the day, if you really think about it, your website is your hardest working salesperson. I'm not saying your salespeople aren't working hard. I'm just saying that it's one of your hardest working salesperson, your website, that is. And that website is working 24/7. That salesperson is working 24/7. So why wouldn't you want to check in at least once a month and see what is going on? How is it performing? What's it doing? Who is it talking to? I mean, you'd want to know what your sales guy is doing, right? So why wouldn't you want to know that about your website? So let me back up a little bit. If you're not sure about Google Analytics and you don't even know if you have one, let's just make sure that you have one. So I'm just going to go into a quick overview of what it would take to get you to set up Google Analytics and things like that. So if you're familiar with Google Analytics setup, you can skip ahead a few minutes if you like. But basically, a Google Analytics account allows you to view your visitor logs. That's in its simplest form. That's the best way to describe it. It keeps track of who came to your site, how they got there, how long they were there, and what they did while they were there, and things like that. It also tells you things like what kind of device your visitors use to get there, their gender, their browser history, no, not their history, just the browser that they use to get to your site and things like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't give you personal information, and it's not going to give you information like Bob Jones came and did XYZ, but it simply just gives you a count of the number of people that came and did certain activities on your site, right? So to set up a Google Analytics account, you first need to go to analytics.google.com and log in with your Gmail account. I recommend using a Gmail account that you use for your business because that's just better. If you don't have a Gmail account for your business, create one. And what I mean by it's better is that then you can share that with other staff members as your company grows and things like that. And it's not connected to you personally as you need to grow your business and you start to share those kind of tools. It's a lot easier to share it if you have a generic account that the whole company uses. Don't use that email account to communicate with your customers and be reliant on it, though. Just use it for connecting all your Google properties and your analytics account and things like that. So anyway, back to creating a Google Analytics account. Once you have a company email address, log into Google Analytics, analytics.google.com, and follow the instructions to get things set up. You will also need to install the code that they give you on your website to start tracking, or you can post that into your Google Tag Manager account, but that's a whole different conversation. I mean, if you don't have Google Analytics set up, I'm assuming you don't have Google Tag Manager, so that's a little bit more advanced, so forget I even said that. So now that you've got your Google Analytics set up, here's some reasons why you need to visit every month, right? The first reason is you need to see how many visitors are coming to your site. I mean, sales and marketing in a way is a numbers game. So you need to know how big is your audience, who's coming, how many times are they coming, and things like that. So you need to know that people are actually coming, doing things on your site and things like that. In a way, those are leading indicators for your business. What happened last month or the sales that happened last month is a lagging indicator. That's done, right? It gives you a snapshot of what happened. But to run a successful business, you need leading indicators. And the visitors coming to your website can be a really good barometer and a good measure for a leading indicator of who's coming, how many are coming, and things like that. So that's the first reason. The second reason is so you can know how they're getting there. One of the things that we're always doing is trying to determine where should we market our company, where should we market our business, where do we get our audience. So when you look at analytics, it tells you how your audience is getting to your site. Are they coming through search? I mean, a certain percentage are going to be coming through search. Are they coming through a particular website? Maybe there's a link on that website. Maybe somebody somewhere will put a link to your website on theirs, and people are coming from there, and you don't know about it. And if you do know about it, maybe you could reach out to that website and say, hey, a lot of your people are coming to my site. Maybe we could do something here. So knowing where your customers or your visitors are coming from can be very powerful. So the third reason is you also get to know what they're doing on your website, right? So are they just looking at a few pages and leaving, or are they just leaving after 30 seconds? What are they doing? I mean, is your website doing anything, or is it just racking up a whole bunch of visitors and they're just bouncing off? So that's also very important because that could mean that you need to change your messaging. Maybe you need to change your offer. Maybe you need to change what is on your homepage or on that particular page and things like that. So it could really give you some insights into changes and adjustments that you need to make. Now, the fourth reason is you also need to know what kind of pages and content is working and what kind of pages and content is actually popular with your audience. That can give you some really good insights for future content, future things that you want to talk about, future things that maybe you want to write about and promote and things like that. So that's the fourth reason, to see the popularity, see which content is popular, what people are doing on the site, and which pages they're consuming. The final and fifth reason is so you can measure your performance against specific marketing goals. And this is a little bit advanced, I know, but you do need to set up some goals on analytics, whether that's phone calls, form fills, downloads, or whatever it is that you're wanting to accomplish on your website. And you basically need to check in on those goals to see how you're doing. Kind of like joining the gym, right? You want to know how your biceps are doing. If you're pushing 50 on that bench press, then you need to start and you want to start pushing 70. You want to measure that at some point to see how you're doing against your goals. So anyway, so that's the fifth reason. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other reasons, but those are the main 5 reasons that I could think of that's really valuable for you. In terms of what are some practical elements of getting this data and going to Google Analytics and taking the time. Well, let me give you some real examples from my experience. From a content marketing perspective, looking at how blog posts are performing can give you an insight into future blog posts, right? So if you've written about tooth decay, for instance, and you see that you're getting a lot of visitors on that, so maybe You could have subsequent blog posts or topics that you discuss, the types of tooth decays and when to treat a tooth decay and all that kind of stuff, right? So it can give you some really good ideas on how you can start leveraging and connecting with that audience that's always coming. The other thing that's really important is, I know that the website is an important part of your marketing. So you need to know, is your design working for you? Is your message working for you? And things like that. So looking at the time on page and the bounce rate and things like that can give you a really good indication of how is that working. Like if people are bouncing off of your page and never going to a second page on your website, so maybe you need to put a stronger call to action on your home page. You know what I mean? So it could be really important for you to look at that information so you can get a better idea for how to improve your messaging, maybe even improve your design. Maybe they don't see the call to action that you have, or maybe they don't really scroll that far and things like that. So there's some real practical values you can get from visiting Google Analytics on a regular basis. Like I said, it's a leading indicator. A lot of the metrics that you see are leading indicators because the interactions that you're having on the website today can determine how much sales and how many customers and how many patients you're going to get tomorrow. So it definitely is a leading indicator, and it can be very powerful for you to be looking at on a regular basis. A side note, while we're talking about Google Analytics, is that the current version of Google Analytics is called Universal Analytics, and that is getting sunset next July, I believe, July 1st, 2023. So you need to move all of your Google Analytics to GA4. And, I've been pretty vocal with our clients about doing that and getting it all moved over. So it's November of 2022 right now. I would start the process of getting your account set up in GA4. If you already have UA set up, you just need to go and follow the instructions there to kind of do GA. And I think if you're starting a new site, new analytics accounts altogether, I don't think it even gives you an option to do the old one, so you're going to start with the new one. So anyway, just keep that in mind. Keep July 1st, 2023 in mind, because that's the date when everything moves over. So anyway, those are the main. So to recap, today we discussed why you need to be looking at Google Analytics data, why you need to do that on a monthly basis. I gave you a brief overview on how to set up Google Analytics account if you don't have one, and discussed how you can learn more about your audience by looking at the data in Google Analytics, and pointed out that this is really a leading indicator for your business, and it could be very powerful to set the stage for future business that you're going to be getting. So to recap, the first reason is so you can see how many visitors are coming to your site. The second reason is so you can know how they're getting there, helps you with your marketing budgets, where you to focus your attention. The third reason is so you know what they're doing on your website, can help you improve your messaging, your design. And the fourth reason is so you can know what pages are popular, so you can expand on that and try to capture more of your audience and also continue to grow that engagement piece. The fifth and final reason is so you can measure your performance against specific marketing goals for your business. So there you have it, the reasons for why you need to visit Google Analytics every month and check the data on your website. If you're a small business owner, a marketing manager at a company, or an entrepreneur, please tune in weekly. You'll gain some insights, tips, and tricks and be a bit more enlightened when it comes to digital marketing. I promise you, if you implement the strategies, tactics, and tools I discussed in this podcast, your business will definitely grow. Please subscribe to this podcast. You can do so by going to corneryourmarketpodcast.com and subscribe with the listening platform of your choice. That URL again is corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Don't forget to like and share this episode with your friends and colleagues. Also, don't forget to leave a review. Those mean a lot to me and can help others that would benefit from the information I share. Finally, I would love to hear from you. I love getting listener emails. So if you have questions, feedback, or any general comment about the topics I discuss on this podcast, feel free to send me an email. I will be sure to share and discuss your feedback on the air if it will benefit our listening audience. You can write to me at connect@corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Just put listener comment in the subject line. That email again is connect@corneryourmarketpodcast.com. And again, please put listener comment in the subject line. Thanks for listening today. I look forward to being back next week. Until then, be good and do good.